So I said, now onwards, we are going to buy only Mercedes-Benz.
Great.
Before even we had the Mercedes-Benz dealership.
How is it possible that your day looks so simple and you look so poised and you're so calm at?
You asked me in the beginning, the first question, how do you do it?
Yeah.
This is how
this
it's
is
done.
exactly how you do it.
So I'm very, very grateful to the Almighty that after 20 years, the vision became reality.
Welcome to another episode of Bridgeway Talks. This is the first episode of Bridgeway Talks in 2025, and 2024 was a very special year for Bridgeway, and I think we had great time in 2024 and it closed really good. It was the 50th year of Bridgeway, and from 1974 to 2024, it's probably seen lots and lots new business, diversification into new businesses, setting pace to the existing business, growing at scales which were never dreamt of before. So this is something which we saw in 2024, and we really want to make it a little bit more up the game a little bit more in 2025. So who else better would be than to have our first episode in 2025 than the man himself who controls this entire game. The group CEO of Bridgeway. We are super happy to have him over here today. Mr. Jaber Abdul Wahab. Hi sir, how are you? And welcome to Bridgeway Talks.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time off. We know how busy you are. You have so many schedules, and that puts me straight into my first question to you. The conglomerate is so huge. Various diverse portfolio, various geographies, various economies which you work in, Indian economy, the Middle East, the Africas. How is it possible that your day looks so simple and you look so poised and you're so calm at all levels? Because the very thought of it coming into my brain itself gives me a lot of jittery feeling. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have asked me the same thing. Along with this question, even a lot of people ask me, which is your the most biggest company, or which is the most that you focus on? So both of those answers both of the questions I've got the same answer. The answer is that we have got people in different levels, or people whom we have empowered.
Wow.
And that empowerment and that more than delegation, it is an empowerment which runs down the spine of every Bridgeway company there is.
Brilliant.
And that started off in early 90s when the Bridgeway actually took a diversified, and where the Bridgeway name came from.
Okay.
So I think it's been 50 years that the group is there. The name Bridgeway is there for almost 30 plus years.
Okay.
So we started off diversifying in the year 1992 when the chairman moved from Abu Dhabi into Dubai and started looking into other businesses, started to see whether he could focus on other areas of geography. That is where the Bridgeway, one of the first investment was into a company called Bridgeway Shipping and Clearing Services.
Okay.
So there were partners in it.
Okay.
But within the next few years, the partners couldn't perform, and the group had to take over. So that's how we took a very universal name called Bridgeway. It's very thoughtful,
dynamic name.
And I need to thank one of my dad's ex-partners
who's
no more in this world. So he was the one who coined it. So Mohammed Manolika. So he's actually so we are in we respect him a lot because he built that relationship from that day, and he was, even though he was not part of the company anymore, but both of them had a very good relationship.
Okay.
So that's how the name came from, and that's where this tradition of empowerment came.
Brilliant. I think I see it because I run business, so I think the kind of empowerment which I think every vertical within the Bridgeway group has is really good, and I think that is probably the key to its success also. Now 2024 we celebrated the 50th year of Bridgeway, and we were part of something called as ABC, the annual Bridgeway conference, which was, I know about a couple of years back when we spoke, we were talking about ABC, and it was your brainchild to have a place where all the Bridgeway is together and celebrate, and it rightly happened on the 50th year. But I have a very typical question. You were not well that day. And, you know, I remember the next day we spoke over phone and you wanted to understand from me how did it go? You know, how was the whole thing? Respect. I think the amount of commitment you have had to get that event happening, ABC happening, world-class event, absolutely world-class event. And how did that go about? You know, bringing so many people under the same building, different group companies. You don't know, some of them didn't even know such kind of groups existed. Such kind of companies existed, you know. People from all over the world coming to Kochi for a beautiful event like that. How did that happen? What was the thought under that?
Okay, this took almost like 20 years of my life to make it happen in that sense. When I was, I think around 24-year-old, 25, 26-year-old, when I joined the family business for the first time, that was my vision. To bring all the companies into one to one umbrella. So everything was controlled by the chairman's or his team or his partners and everything. They were going as they were all empowered and going. Everybody was in their own silos. And I was a very young person coming into it. And by the time the chairman had his own priorities set for his next part of life. So when he took that path in his life, I was getting into the professional life in after doing a stint of internship and everything. So the vision started 20 years back.
Brilliant.
And it's not one company, as you said.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a huge,
massive.
Small, you know, medium and big, you know, there are many companies around. So I think it took a lot of time and effort and people also. So I think I need to thank the people who have stayed with us and the second generation of the family who have come along, taken up the responsibilities, and not only taking responsibilities, actually growing the company. Growing the company along with the people who are already there.
Absolutely.
And by saying this, I also say that there were a lot of people who left us in between all this journey because either, you know, we're not having the same vision as each other. And I'm very, very grateful to the Almighty that after 20 years, the vision became reality. I started talking to you 2 years before.
2 years back.
I wouldn't have the opportunity to talk to you, or you know, in the position of you before those years, because that is the time when the things were coming into play.
Wow.
All the movements and everything. Yeah. So it takes a lot of
perseverance.
Now let's look at the management side of it. Management side of the event, and that event needed to happen in a stage where everybody would come together. They would have a common theme, and they would go back with a lot of giveaways in their own mind and takeaways from their mind. So that was something which we had to plan a lot of things, and people who were behind it is, you know, were picked and cherry picked from different organizations and, you know, clubbed together.
I typically, you know, the event actually goes to prove that we as a group, Bridgeway as a group, is absolutely fantastic in all their verticals. To be very honest, you know, that's what probably, you know, because I met so many people there who I've not even met from the schools, you know, from various other companies. Phenomenal job, and I think, you know, everybody was so positive about the event. Everybody wanted to do things. There was no negativity about the event at all. You know, it was brilliantly done. Now, you just said that, you know, 2 years before, maybe, you know, you were in the intricacies of developing this and bringing Bridgeway out in the limelight and things like that. So you wouldn't probably have time to talk to me. And what does Jaber Abdul Wahab's day look like? Today, when you get up in the morning, I really want to know this, because about a year back, I remember I came to Dubai and I was sitting with you in a coffee shop. and we were talking about so many things, and it was a very personal talk. We spoke about so many things, about temper, how do you control. So it was a very personal talk for me. So from then I was really a man with such amount of vision, so many companies at the helm of so many companies, part of a board which makes huge decisions. How does your day look like? It starts at, say, 9 o'clock in the morning and ends at 7 o'clock in the evening or whatever. How does it look like?
I would typically wake around 5:36 between, let's say around 5:30 plus or minus, depending on the season. And then I would have a little bit time on my news and getting to know what's happening in the world. Then I get into my routine of doing some aquatic exercises.
Oh, wow.
And along with my trainer is there in the town.
Okay.
Then we would have some yogas and stuff like that. Right. I've been training with him for the last 10 plus years.
Oh, brilliant.
So if he's not there, then I get into aquatic. If he's there, then it's mostly yoga. Okay. Then come back and have shower, get ready for office, and then finish off my meetings, internal meetings within my team and everything around by lunchtime.
Right.
So after lunch is where then I get out and have meetings with people outside the office. So I would network with people around, or I would have external meetings which is not inside the office. I would plan it for the second half of the day.
Right.
Once that is done, then I get back home. I'm with the family.
Right.
That's my typical day that has happened. As you said, to improve upon myself is where I take time to be with people who are better than me.
Okay.
So, for example, I'm not a reader as such.
Okay.
I watch videos, I watch movies, I watch documentaries and everything. I'm not a reader as such.
Okay.
So that is where I surround people who read.
Okay.
So,
passive.
Yeah.
So there's a passive effect.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people who are around me. So, for example, some of the friends read books on a continuous basis.
Right.
So they read the books on a daily basis.
Right.
So I surround myself with those people.
Right.
Some of my family members read.
Okay.
So I sit with them. And then I have a conversation. The topics that that are common to both of us. So that's how I get into uplifting my skill set. And of course, I meet other people also.
Oh, brilliant.
Who can
tell us a bit about corporate connections, because I think you are part of corporate connections also, and I think in Dubai you were also heading the corporate connections for some time. And
so corporate connections is a networking group around the world. There are 1,500 people plus now.
Okay.
It started off around 2015.
Right.
Is where they started off in Canada.
Right.
I came to Dubai in 2019.
Okay.
And we were one of the first people to get into that network. It's basically getting along with people who are like-minded, who are in a phase of life where they want to uplift their own lives, internal lives.
Okay.
Just not looking at professional or personal. It's about uplifting yourself.
Right.
So surrounding yourself with people in that mindset is what we look at. And this year, last year, 2024, I was the chair of that Dubai chapter.
Yeah.
Then,
and corporate connections in Dubai is big. I think I see a lot of activities happening. But I don't see it happening in India.
So in India, it's much bigger than.
Is it? Okay.
It's much bigger. I think around hundreds of people are part of corporate connections in India. In Kerala, just started off. I think 2025, you will see the first chapter happening in Kerala.
Brilliant. So what is Bridgeway's agenda for 2025? What do you see? 2024 is over now, and we have a new year in place.
So when 2024 happened, along with this 50-year celebrations, we wanted to have that push for the next 10 years.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So that discussion is being going on along with every company that is there in the company. So that discussion, for example, the discussion along with you, that would happen once we engage Ajmal, yourself and your top team.
Right.
We would have a brainstorming session in the beginning and then try and understand how this has to move forward. So that is happening with each of the companies.
Brilliant.
So we're doing it with 2 companies or 3 companies simultaneously.
Right.
And so we'll come to you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll,
yeah,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll pick your brains.
Yeah.
And in turn, you would get into, so a brainstorming session happens in an environment where there is a non-judgmental factor
Right.
being in that room,
Right. Right. Right.
where everybody comes up with certain ideas where it is just sparked.
Brilliant.
You can take up that idea and then think beyond that,
Okay.
or you can give completely a new idea.
New idea.
There is there's nothing that comes into the mind where it says this is not going to happen.
Okay.
That factor is completely taken away.
Taken away. Okay. Oh,
So
brilliant.
so in that brainstorming session, once we put that idea in, or once we put that aura into that room, the ideas will keep flowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to do it in different parts of the
Very nice.
organization.
Very nice.
So you would have typically you would have a brainstorming session along with us,
Right.
and then you would have a brainstorming session along with the whole of the people under you.
Oh, right.
Or you can break it down
Right,
depending on the
right,
number
right,
of people and number of how
Very
you want to
nice.
do it. So that is where the ideas would come out.
Very nice.
And
Very
this, we were thinking, how do we create a vision for 10 years? That 10 years would be a vision kind of set, but 3 years plan, for the next 3 years, would be very, very clear.
solid plan.
Solid plan.
Yeah.
We would know, each of us would know what to do.
Right.
So, for example, you would know what to do.
Right.
You would ask us what is required to do that.
Right.
So we would know what is to give you to get to that
Yes,
goals and
yes,
vision
yes,
stuff.
yes, yes.
3 to 5 years would be a little bit more fluid.
And 5 to 10 would
5
be a
to 10
longer
would be
term.
more of a larger vision.
Larger
Because
vision.
things are changing.
Right.
Companies are changing every 3 years to 5
Right.
years.
Right.
So you would keep ourselves very agile.
Right. Absolutely.
And that is something which we in Bridgeway family, we are very proud of, is that we keep
Very
ourselves
agile, yeah.
very agile.
Very agile, yeah.
That is something which we wanted to keep it up.
I think that's the best way to run business, also to have a short-term objective and a medium and a long-term objective. I think a very, very professional way of running thing. Now, hardcore car guy. I'm into cars, 25 years selling cars, and if somebody asks me, actually I told this to Hani also if somebody asked me, Girish, can you do something else? I cannot. I only know cars, more cars and more cars, So you were in Graz recently with Hani, I think, on the G drive thing. How was that experience?
Oh, I had planned for that before COVID.
Okay.
I took the tickets for COVID for myself. It was a random thing. It came to my mind,
Yeah.
and I just took up the tickets because they had announced that this was happening
Right.
before COVID.
Right.
And I had picked up a slot also. So
Right.
then COVID happened, and it got postponed.
Right.
So then I started thinking, okay, then I had time to think. They had given, time.
Yeah.
I was just planning to go by myself. And then I said, okay, no, now I have got time to think, let me think. And then I said, okay, I need to find people who are passionate about G-Class.
G-Class.
And then going, so Hani was the first one that I thought of. And then he also had a friend who came along. And then from my side, I said, I think I need to pull somebody into the G-Class wagon.
Right.
And this I brought in my friend Sharon, who has got a beautiful business in Qatar,
Okay.
who has been stationed for there. I pulled him actually.
Okay.
He's not a G-Wagon fan. He thought, G-Wagons, and I can't do much. So I pulled him just because of my relationship with him. He came along, and then we four had a very, very good time.
Oh, boy.
The kind of experience that what that automobile is capable of is something is unimaginable. You think that this what is written in paper just to have gimmicky kind of things, but
it's a breed.
So
it's a different breed.
We have individually, not without trainers. Individually, we have done cars at 35-degree angle,
Wow.
80 degree on the slopes like this.
Brilliant.
We have taken on slippery roads, on tracks, on mountains. So
you spend most of your time in Middle East, in Dubai. I think where I think you would probably get to drive the best of cars. You would probably get to use the best of products right now available across the globe. So we have Mercedes. So which is your favorite of these stars? Which is the favorite of Mercedes, which you would love to, you would own probably,
Yeah.
which you would love driving and,
I think around 10 years back, or maybe 10 years back, approximately 10 plus years back, I told my family, my dad, has
Yeah.
left Dubai. My mom is not there, and so he was in. So I'm, the captain of the ship
Yes.
over there. So I said, now onwards, we are going to buy only Mercedes-Benz.
Great.
Before even we had the Mercedes-Benz dealership.
Yeah.
So I was in love with that brand after getting matured, because
Okay.
seeing their the quality of the brand and the
Yes,
quality
yes,
of the
yes,
vehicles and everything. So I was like getting into, and my brother, he was like, why? And my wife was also saying, why are you taking that oath to yourself, saying that? So if you look at from there, I have predominantly only bought Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah. I think the product itself says for
yeah,
itself. It's
in my
fantastic
personal
product,
portfolio.
Yeah.
That is the so I've got two G wagons. And,
Yeah, I know.
And one S coupe.
S Coupe, you picked me up an S Coupe in
so
Dubai when I
yeah,
came
so
there. We
S
were
coupe.
there.
So I think G wagon, which I bought in 2010, the G55 AMG,
Okay.
is my favorite.
Oh, brilliant.
I still drive it. It has clocked around 350,000 kilometers.
Ooh, that is quite a drive.
Yeah, so both my wife Yasmin and myself have driven that.
Very nice.
Almost. It was her car after my stint of 5-6 years. Then she drove it.
Yeah.
And then she has got another
Okay.
G class now. So now I've taken it back, and it is my weekend
Driving
drives. Yeah.
thing. Okay.
So,
Very nice. So now we are coming to the end of this session of Bridgeway Talk. So, but before going, I would love you to give us, give our viewers, the people who are going to see this podcast, what do you think about 2025, and your thought process personally. What next? What next for you personally? We spoke about what Bridgeway is going to do, and for you personally, what next in 2025, and going forward, what next?
So for me personally, I would I want to get better at what I do personally,
Okay.
and not for the companies.
Okay.
Personally, I have to eat better.
Oh, okay.
I have to work out a little bit better,
Right.
and I have to fit into a certain kind of a fashionable kind of an attire. I'm getting inspired by you and people around me. So that is one thing that I'm trying to do in 2025 personally.
Brilliant.
I've started that journey. I've started that journey long back ago.
Brilliant.
My priorities were different.
Right,
My
right.
likings for food is more. So I'm trying to find different ways of doing it. So that is what personally, if you look at me, what I'm trying to do.
Thank you so much for having being here today. I think it's very rare that we get Mr. Jaber to sit with us, because I know how busy he is. Because a conglomerate as big as Bridgeway today, having businesses in so many countries, ranging from automotive to schools, education, real estate. I think it's very easy for you to say that things, I take it, but I know the pressures, I know how it is going to work.
So I think this Bridgeway Talks is a initiative that you have taken.
Yeah.
You have taken personally.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that I am deeply,
Thank you.
thanking you from my depth of my heart. This is something that which I wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
And you have taken it up, and that's how it works in Bridgeway.
Yeah.
So that manifestation, that empowerment of things are happening from different ends.
Absolutely.
So you asked me in the beginning, the first question, how do you do it?
Yeah.
This is how
this
it's
is
done.
exactly how you do it.
So there are people who are capable more than me to do it. I let them to do it.
I think that's the best answer which we would have got today for the first question. I think
there's one more thing that I'll leave. A lot of people feel insecure about delegation, empowerment, and I've heard people saying that for you and for your family, it's kind of a second nature.
Right.
Just go and do it. There is one thing that we keep doing again and again, is that, for example, when I came for this meeting, I am pretty much sure that I wanted to leave something on the table for everybody to take.
Right. Right.
in one form or the other.
Right.
People would have different takes from this meeting. So each person would have different things.
Right.
So that is how we actually improve ourselves.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that is how we can actually take this organization or take this conversation further.
Right.
So for my part of time, my responsibility is to bring something that can benefit you.
Right. Right.
So if the conversation is with you, how can I make it better for you?
Right.
But that's the mindset that I come with.
No, I think it's absolutely visible also. You know, it's very comfortable to be conversing with you. You know, it's not that, you know, you are a CEO of a big company. You don't have that a feeling that, you know, you're conversing with a person of so much of stature or this thing. But I think that ease which you bring into the room, the ease which you bring into generally into business and this thing, I think that is the main part which I feel about delegation, which is there across the family. I've seen everybody in the family. So I think across the family, the ease, it is not, they don't tell you I'm delegating this work to you, I'm delegating, but with ease that it is known.
It is known.
It is known within, it's the DNA of the company that, you know, it is delegated and you are supposed to do it. I think that's a brilliant way of functioning. Thank you, sir, once again. And it is a pleasure to have you today. Wish you again, once again, wish you a happy, your family, everybody a happy 2025 and way ahead.
Wishing you and the family and the company and the whole society as such.
Thank you so much.
Very, very happy 2025.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.